question keeps occurring is what is the magic of making a record? What is your production technique for making a magic record? But there is no magic. There is no magic production technique. It doesn't exist. There will never be a great production without artists. It's impossible. One of the things we need to concentrate on when we make a record is to actually understand what it is we're trying to achieve. Because in the recording studio you can go anywhere, you can change the arrangement, you can change the key, you can change the structure, you can change the whole feel of the piece so easily. Sometimes the role of the producer is as simple as holding a mirror up to the artist and saying, look, this is what you're looking like, this is what you're sounding like, is that really what you want? And sometimes possibly offering different views, say, look, we could do it like this, we could do it like this, we could have this colour, we could have that colour. And in the context of what we're doing, my advice may be to do it this way. So, as a producer, you also have to bear in mind who or what the client desires from the recording. And sometimes one has to be extremely diplomatic in negotiating what is required, because the aims of the record company can sometimes be quite different from the artist. I've done lots of recordings, lots of little bits of recordings with various artists, but this was the first album I've been asked to mix, and it's by an English, fantastic English sort of psychedelic, drug-induced folk singer called Roy Harper, who is fabulous, really great guy. He still is a great guy, thankfully. And he phoned me up, and he was in New York. He said, hey, I'm making this record with these idiots here in New York. Please could you mix it for me? So I said, yeah, I'd love to, thank you. Everything was awful on these recordings, but there were two tracks. I pushed the faders up. There were two tracks of guitars. These guitars sounded amazing, absolutely stunning. And then another song came along, the drums were terrible, the bass was out of phase, the voices were horrible, there was distortion and dull, and it was just horrible. Once again, there were two tracks of guitars I pushed up. These guitars sounded panoramic, they sounded like an orchestra. Really, really beautiful. So, showing off my new knowledge. I said to Roy, who was reading a book, he's very interested in English history, so he's always reading about English history. So I said to Roy, oh, these guitars were recorded in a different studio, weren't they, Roy? He said, no. He kept on reading. I said, well, okay, these guitars were recorded by a different engineer, weren't they? No. He's a different producer. No. He said, all this shit was recorded by the same morons, all of it. And then I asked the question I should have asked first of all, who's playing the guitars? He said, David Gilmour. And it was such a fantastic lesson. It was the first album I mixed. It was such a fantastic lesson to learn. So much depends on the musician. Everything depends on the musician. There's no magic button, there's nothing you can do to make a guitar sound like David Gilmour.
Can we talk a little bit about the sales?
Artists deserve to be paid, just like somebody in buildings building. Just like all of us have got jobs, just like nurses, doctors, teachers, road builders. Artists deserve to be paid as well. They're normal people with normal needs that need to be paid. So there's a financial aspect that I think is really damaging and it's ugly, and when you go to the supermarket you can't just take the food, you have to pay for it, and clothes you have to pay for. You should pay for music, everybody should pay for music, everybody should pay for books. Art is too important. I think for a young band the best advice is play, write. And enjoy that and love that. Don't try and be famous. Stop the music.